We're hard for games, and you should be too, especially tonight, because we're going to be talking about FZero and Broadcast Satellite FZero Grand Prix 2. It was never released in the US and was never released in physical form. Reproduction card, baby. Boom!
Oh, this is going to be a special night for me. My sister just used to beat me all the time in FZero. It was great.
It's not a multiplayer game, John.
No, she was just better.
Okay.
So much better.
All right.
It's all right. I get the secret power of being able to play the game she will never be able to play, and she won't even know. It's like that time I snuck a flask into work, or I brought that gun to a preschool.
Okay, so let's start with FZero. Talk about why that game was so good. A little bit of foreplay before we get on into it.
I didn't even use him.
So FZero was a launch title for the Super Nintendo.
And in fact, I think it's the reason I got a Super Nintendo as a kid, because even though we never owned the game, every time I was ever playing my Super Nintendo, my dad would be like, I really want to try the F-Zero game out. It seems so cool.
And it was cool, and your dad's a very intelligent man.
And you see here, we don't have a lot of game modes. This is not that fancy. We've got Practice and Grand Prix. So I'm gonna go with the one with flames on it because it makes you faster.
Oh yes. Only 4 options for vehicles here, but you know what? The lack of options is more than made up for with the gameplay and with the music.
Don't let the news music from the title screen fool you. Here's the good stuff.
Oh yeah. So juicy. So good.
City music is a legend. It's weird that the game music is so good when there are at least 2 levels in this game that deal with silence or muteness.
Yeah.
And the music for silence is really
great.
Good. It's fantastic. It's so good. So this game has a very simple, very effective, and fun strategy. There's a lot of things that can bump you around and hit you and explode and so on and so forth, and it gives you the option to regain some of your health. Now, that slows you down a little bit, but you have the option to do it. So it's not overly complicated, it's not overly crazy, but it's very arcadey and it's a lot of fun.
And at the same time, you still do have to do real things. Like you want to try and optimize to get the straightest path you possibly can. But it's not like Gran Turismo, where if you don't brake at exactly the right second, you're gonna fly off the course.
And one thing that's very important with this game is it always tries to keep that flow of just sort of speed. Even when you're sort of pitting in, it's just that strip, and it doesn't really break from the gameplay. It slows you a bit and could cost you the lead.
Yeah.
Alright, see that zoom in and tilt that it sort of did there? That's a neat little trick that Nintendo came up with, where this game is still fully 2D, but it entered an optical illusion they called Mode 7.
There's actually how it feels for the game to enter Mode 7.
I'm pretty sure it has good texture.
That's got to get you through the game.
Stop cutting corners.
All I have to do is not die.
Nice.
Oh!
Tony.
Gotta give it a shot.
Yeah, I'm giving this a shot.
So this game obviously uses Mode 7 very, very heavily. This game, as well as Pilot Wings, were the 2 games in the launch window that essentially showed what the SNES could really do graphically.
And this was really all sort of a big non-verbal fuck you to Sega, because when they came out with the Genesis, their tagline was Sega does what Nintendo don't.
Yes, and the Genesis could not do anything like this. The Sega CD later on could kind of do things like this, for example the special stages in Sonic CD, but the SNES was just graphically superior.
And you know what else?
What's that?
This game doesn't suck like the special stages.
This game does not suck. Oh. And there's just so much detail on these like sprites too. It's like it's really nice.
Whoa, those flames definitely bring the room together.
Ooh, barely made it past that one. Nice. Oh, John, I don't know if you're doing. Oh, you are first.
No naysaying.
Oh, John, you better be so careful.
Oh! Tony, damn you!
Oh, it was not me. It was you.
I've always been impressed with the fluid movement of the sprites animations.
Oh yeah.
It really does look like a moving car.
And for a launch title, this is extremely impressive. Like, it's just really, the fluidity is what sells it for me. And the only thing in this game that really doesn't look that good is the perspective that we're supposed to be like high above the ground. There's some interesting kind of like shadow effects that make you know that we're supposed to be above the ground, but overall it doesn't look great. But then again, it is kind of not important to the gameplay.
No. If they did the FX chip too, they might have been able to do some cool perspective stuff, but this game never got a real cart release for its sequel, so they couldn't use any of that tech. Whoa! That guy was just being a dick.
Nice.
Mute City ain't got nothing on me.
Here it looks pretty good with that effect of it being much higher, but when you're actually racing, it's going a little too fast for it to look that good.
Yeah.
It still doesn't look that great. It looks like that is so far away, but it is also so close. Like the shadow doesn't really make it look like you're that far away. But
Launch title, yeah.
Port Town.
Oh yeah, baby.
Kind of looks like a dick, actually. we did a good job with Port Town, guys.
We really did. The music is so good. God, it's so good. It doesn't even feel like racing music, but it totally fits the scenery, you know?
It just sort of sets the character.
Vehicle. Oh! John! What are you thinking, man?
I'm thinking I'm gonna win this one. Originally, this map was called Whiteland 2, White Pride, but they realized in translation that didn't have the same meaning. That is not true.
FZero. If it had a multiplayer mode, I would say that it would be, for the time, damn near perfect. The multiplayer is really the only flaw.
But like, if you had split screen mode 7, that would be like mode 3.5 times 2, and that's just weird.
Yeah, and there has never ever been a successful, well-selling two-player mode 7 racing game for the Super Nintendo.
Of course.
Just never.
No.
What idiot would make that?
No, I don't know. So, before we dive into the whole that is Broadcast Satellite FZero Grand Prix 2, let's get a deeper appreciation of what Mode 7 truly is.
Can I please sit this one out?
No, absolutely not.
No.